Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nisha Singla, and in this video we are going to talk about one of the most useful and cool feature of ES6, and that is spread operator. This is one of my favorite feature in ES6 and I am pretty sure that you will also love this. So please watch the video till the end. It will definitely help you in your project. So without any further ado, let's get started. JavaScript ES6 introduced the spread operator. If I talk about its syntax, the syntax is quite simple, 3 dots followed by array or iterable. It expands the array into individual element. So it can be used to expand the array in a place where 0 or more elements are expected. Spread operator can be used basically in the three categories, like with array, with objects, and in function call. And so in today's demo we are going to cover all the three categories where you can use spread operator. So wherever you want to expand the array into individual element, there you can use spread operator. I know that it's not making that much sense with definition. So now let's understand it with examples. So now let's start with the syntax of spread operator. Now let's create one array. I have one users array. So if I do simple console dot and I want to display the value of user without spread operator, what I'll do, users, and here you can see it will display it on the console like this. So now instead of displaying it like an array, if you want to spread this value into single element like a variable, each variable will hold single value like user1, user2. So then you can use it with the help of spread operator. So to use spread operator, the syntax is quite simple. You just need to put 3 dots followed by your iterable or array. So I have users here, and when you do so, it means I have used the spread operator on my users array. So here you can see I'm getting user1, user2. It's not displaying the value like an array anymore, it's displaying like an individual value. So we have spread out the value into individual elements. Okay, it's similar like if I do something like this. If I try to print multiple strings like this, it's quite simple. So you just need to make sure wherever you have 3 dots followed by your iterable, it is a spread operator. Now let's see where we can use this and where we should not use this. Because I have seen developer has started using spread operator in their React projects or in Angular or anywhere in JavaScript based library or framework. Somewhere they are not clear about the concept, and because of that they face so many issues. So please watch this video till the end so that you understand where exactly you should use spread operator and where it will not help you, so you don't use that. So the first use case of spread operator is in arrays. So let's see how we can use that. So let's quickly create one array. So I have two array, team1 and team2, which contains some list of team members. So in array we usually perform some operations like we concatenate array, we copy one array into another array. So there we use spread operator a lot. So let's see the first use case in the concat method. Concat method is basically used to combine two arrays together, right? So if I want to create a new array which will be a combination of team1 and team2, so we can combine these two array with the help of concat method. So if I am not using spread operator, then usually we do it with the help of concat method in JavaScript. So if I do console.log new team, so here you can see it is the combination of team1 array and team2 array, user1, user2, user3. So now the same thing we can do in ES6 with the help of spread operator. So all you have to do, you just need to use array, and inside this you can spread these two arrays. So I am spreading first array team1 and team2. As I told you that spread operator is basically spread each element of your array into individual elements. So it's a kind of like I'm creating new array, and inside this I'm spreading team1 all values and all values of team2. So ultimately my team will hold all the values of team1 and all the values of team2. So now if you'll do console.log my team, you'll see the same output. So before ES6 we use it with the help of concat method, and now we can use spread operator. So now in EX6 we can also use concat method, right? Because it is also there. So you need to identify where we should use concat method and where we should use spread operator. So you just need to understand, like if you have simple two arrays which you want to concat, right? Then you can simply do it with this way. This is the better approach in that case. But if you have more than two arrays you want to combine, like team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4. So in that case concat method will be complex. So there spread operator will be very easy, because all you have to do team 1, team 2, team 3 and team 4, as much as you want to add. So there the spread operator will be more easy as compared to concat method. So now I want to add this new team member into my team 1 array. So I'm also concatenating my array with this string. So in that case, if you do with the help of concat method, let's see what it will display. And if I do the same thing with spread, let's see how it will behave. So if I simply do console.log team 1 concat new team member. So you'll see here user 1, user 2 and new team member. So it's fine, right? But if I try to do the same thing with spread operators, so if I say here 3 dots team 1 and 3 dots with new team member. So in that case what it will do, it will take team 1 all value, that is user 1, user 2, and then if I use spread operator with this string, it will take each character as an individual value and it will store like this. So definitely in this case this is the good way and this is not, right? So in that case you should use concat method over spread operator. Now let's talk about the another use case of array is basically copying an array, and we use it a lot. Sometimes we have one original array and from that array we want to create a new array. So I want to copy all the element of my one array into another array. So let's see how we used to do it in EX5 and now how we can use the same with the help of spread operator. So let's quickly create one array. So maybe this is my main array which holds the product information. So from this array I want to create a new array which will hold all the values of this array. So what usually we do? So simply what we do, we take all the value from product list 1 and I'll give to new product. It means I'm copying all the values of product list 1 into new product. Let's do console.log now. So product list is my original array and new product is my clone array, right? I have cloned that. So you can see as of now both arrays is displaying the same value because I have copied that. Now let's add a twist here. Let's modify my clone array. Maybe later on I have modified my new product which I have created from product list. So usually we use which method in JavaScript to add a new value in the array? That is a push method. So what I'll do, I'll say new product dot push and I'm adding new product here in my list is camera. So I try to change my new product and now let me console.log again these two values. So here you can see line 31 product list 1, that was my original array which hold only two value, phone and adapter. But here you can see it is displaying camera as well. So in the above code we can clearly see that when we try to insert an element inside the array, the original array is also altered, which we didn't intend it and it is not recommended. So we can make use of spread operator in this case. So in that case my original array will not change. So now if I do this way, so in that case what we are doing, we are taking all value from my product list 1 and spreading it individually and then giving it to new product. So now you can see at line 31 that is my original array product list 1 and which holds two value. So now we can see our array is not altered. Only the new value which we have added camera, that will only be in my clone array, in the new array. So here we can say that when we use spread operator, we make sure that the original array is not affected whenever we alter the new array. So this is about the array part, how we can use spread operator in arrays. Now let's talk about the next use is in the object. We use spread operator a lot when we use object literal syntax in JavaScript. So let's understand how we can use that in object. So let's quickly create one object. I have one EMP object. So now I want to clone this object. I want to create new object from this object. So what we can do, we can use spread operator for the same. So I'm creating one variable clone employee, and that I want to create from employee variable, from employee object. So here we can use spread operator. So if you are creating, so if you are using spread operator with array, you need to use square bracket, right? In the same way, if you are using spread operator in object, we need to use curly braces, because curly braces is a representation of object literal, right? So here I can use the same spread operator. So let's see what it will hold in employee object and in the clone employee object. It's employee, right? Not employed. So here we can see both object at line 61 and 62 is same. So if you want to create a new object from another object, then spread operator is quite useful. One use case of spread operator in case of object is merging. If you want to merge multiple objects and want to create a new object, there also you can use spread operator. So now let's create one more object, like maybe we have one object that will hold the employee name and job, and another object that we'll have is the personal detail about this employee. So now we have two objects, EMP and personal detail. So I want to merge these two objects together and want to create a new object like a employee detail, right? So how we can do that? I can say const employee detail, and I want to merge these two objects now. So to do that, what you'll do, take your first object, that is EMP, and the second object is personal detail. So now if you do console.log and try to display this variable employee details, you'll see at line 69 it will display the first object value, name and job, and it will add another object also into this. So it means we are merging two objects together. So there also spread operator is quite useful. Next use case of spread operator is in function calls. So let's see how spread operator will help you in functions. We all have used math class in JavaScript, which gives min function, max function, right? So if I do something like this, so in that case it will give me the minimum value out of this complete list. So 3 is the minimum value, right? So it means we can pass as many value as we want and it will give me the minimum out of them, right? But for an example, we have one array and let's give it any name, score list array, which may hold the score of any game or any employee or any student, right? Anything. So let's give some score. Okay. So now maybe I want to count the minimum and maximum score out of this list. So if I try to do the same thing here, math.min function on my score list object or score list array, you will see you will get NaN. Because now we are not passing individual value, we are passing a complete array. So min function will not understand this. So either first you have to iterate over each value from this array and then apply min method. But the short syntax here is the spread operator. If you do the same thing with spread operator, it's quite easy. Because spread operator will spread each value of your array into individual element like this. So here if I use 3 dots, and see, it will work. 40 is the minimum value, and same way we can count the max value. Interesting, right? Before ES6 we use apply method if you want to achieve the same, right? How we do that? If you want to know this one, let's try this one. If I use the same method, let's use min method, we can use apply function here. It takes two parameters, this and the array argument. So we don't have any this here. So let's pass null, and array argument is score list. So in this case also we are getting the correct value, that minimum value is 40. So before spread operator, we need to use apply method if we want to achieve the same thing. But now the syntax, you can see it's quite simple. So here the spread operator can be used. So we have used pretty much all the scenarios where we can use spread operator. Now let's talk about one complex and very important concept where spread operator is quite useful, and that is the immutability with spread operator. We have a concept of mutable and immutable objects, and that is very important to understand whenever you work with JavaScript. I will not explain mutable and immutable in detail, but we can say if any variable can change its value or alter its value, then it is mutable object. And if a variable cannot change its value, it's completely pure, then it is immutable. So this concept is very useful when you work with React, because there everything is handled with the help of state. So if your state change, only then your UI will render, right? So there the concept of mutability and immutability is very important. Let's take a very simple example where spread operator is very useful. For an example, I have one to-dos array where I'm just maintaining my to-dos list. So this is my array of object. So let's create one function that will add new to-do. I want to add a new task, so I'll make it one function. So what I'll do, I want to push a new value to my array and I want to add a new task. So I told you, we have discussed in my array that we want to add a new value, we can use push method, right? So now let's create new array. I'll say my new list, and so I'll make a call to this function and I'll pass, this function will take one argument, right? That is an object. So if I say my new task is recording and its status is false, it's not completed yet. So now let's print our to-dos. So here you will see my original array is modified and it has added one element in that. It means it is mutating my original array. Mutating means my original array is changing. Initially it was 2, now it is 3. So ideally this practice is not correct. So in framework like React, where your UI render when state is changed. So in this case it is very important how you are updating your array or object so that your UI should re-render. It is not returning a new state. It is just updating my existing state and adding the new element into that. So this is not correct. So in this case you should be very careful how you are adding a new element in the array. So it should not be mutable, it is immutable. So there the spread operator is quite useful. So let's convert this code from mutable to immutable. So now we are not going to use push method this way. So whenever you talk about immutability, in this case, instead of adding new element directly into my original array, I will return a new to-dos from this without modifying my original array. So in that case, I say return a new array which will first take all the values from my to-dos and then add a new value into that. So here first I will spread out all the values from this array using spread operator, and then in that case whatever new object is coming from here, I'll add that one. So here I'll use new to-do. So in this case, now if I print to-dos and if I print new list, because this time I'm returning a new array, so new list will also be an array now. So here you can see at line 1 to 1, which is printing to-dos, that was my original array, it is 2. It means it is only holding what it was there, right? It is the original array. So now we have created a new array from original array without changing any value from original array. It is added here, right? So it means now we have created a new list without mutating my original array. So this is the concept of immutability. So there also spread operator is quite useful. So I tried to cover all the possible concept of ES6. And definitely if you are learning it for the first time, it may be little confusing, but if you do practice definitely and try to incorporate these syntax in your project, you will see the change in your code. So this is all for today. I hope you will like this video, and if you like it, show your love with likes, comments and subscribing my channel. I will see you in my next video. Till then, keep learning and enjoy.